Tom and the Whispering Garden. In a small, sunny village where birds sang and bees buzzed, there lived a curious boy named Tom. He loved exploring, especially with his green backpack filled with snacks, a magnifying glass, and his favorite red scarf. One morning, as the first rays of sunlight peeked over the hills, Tom heard a strange sound outside his window, like whispers carried on the breeze. "Come find us," the whispers seemed to say. Tom's eyes widened. "Who's there?" he called out. But no one answered, only a trail of shimmering petals leading toward the woods behind his house. With his backpack slung over his shoulders, Tom followed the sparkling path. It wound through trees, over a babbling brook, and into a clearing he'd never seen before. In the middle stood a gate made of twisting vines, each leaf shimmering as if dipped in gold. Tom reached out and pushed the gate open. As it creaked, the whispers grew louder, and suddenly, he was inside the most incredible garden he'd ever seen. Giant flowers taller than him swayed gently, their petals glimmering with colours that seemed to change in the sunlight. Trees with sparkling fruit stood in neat rows, and a crystal-clear pond lay in the centre, its surface rippling with tiny rainbows. "Hello, Tom," chirped a voice. Tom spun around. Perched on a mushroom was a tiny creature, no bigger than his hand. It had butterfly wings, a pointy nose, and wore a hat made of a flower petal. "I'm Fizzle, the garden sprite," it said with a bow. "You found the Whispering Garden. Only those who truly believe in magic can hear its call." Tom's mouth dropped open. "I knew magic was real," he said, beaming. Fizzle grinned. "This garden is special. Every plant, tree, and flower has its own magic. But there's one rule. Everything here must be treated with kindness." Tom nodded eagerly. "I'll be careful." Fizzle flitted ahead, leading Tom to a bush with bright star-shaped berries. "These are giggleberries. If you eat one, it'll make you laugh for an hour." Tom popped one into his mouth and burst into uncontrollable giggles, rolling on the soft grass. When he finally caught his breath, Fizzle showed him a tree with silver leaves. "Careful with this one," Fizzle warned. "The leaves are wishing leaves. Pluck one, and your wish will come true, but only if it's a kind wish." Tom thought for a moment and whispered, "I wish my garden at home could grow flowers as magical as these." The leaf shimmered and floated out of his hand, vanishing in a puff of golden light. Suddenly, the sky above the garden darkened. The cheerful whispers turned into worried murmurs. "Oh no!" Fizzle gasped. "Someone has upset the garden." Tom looked around and saw a trail of crushed flowers and broken branches. In the distance, a shadowy figure was trying to pluck a glowing fruit from the tallest tree. "Stop!" Tom called out, racing toward the figure. It was a grouchy badger, grumbling as it tugged at the fruit. "You're hurting the garden," Tom said firmly. The badger huffed but froze when Tom added, "If you're hungry, I can help you find food that won't hurt the plants." Together, Tom and Fizzle led the badger to a bush with plump, juicy berries. "These are for everyone," Fizzle said with a smile. The badger muttered an apology and waddled away, leaving the garden peaceful once more. As the sun began to set, Fizzle flew up to Tom. "Thank you, Tom. You've shown kindness and bravery. The garden will always welcome you back." Tom felt a warm glow in his heart. "I'll never forget this place." When he returned home, his backyard looked the same, until he noticed tiny shoots sprouting where he'd planted seeds the week before. As he watched, the shoots grew into flowers with shimmering petals, just like in the Whispering Garden. From that day on, Tom's garden became a magical haven, attracting bees, butterflies, and even a few sprites. And every now and then, when the wind blew just right, he could hear the soft whispers of the magical garden calling his name.